Hi everyone, Justin Bartel here, astronomer at the Science Museum of Virginia, and it's time for another installment of Ask an Astronomer. Today's question comes from Elliot, who wanted to know how many different galaxies are out there. Well, Elliot, that's something astronomers are still trying to figure out, but I think it's a pretty interesting story. We're going to start by looking back 100 years, because astronomers in those days were asking a question just like yours. How big is the universe? On April 26, 1920, two leading astronomers named Harlow Shapley and Heber Curtis were invited to Washington, D.C. for a great debate. Shapley said there was just one big galaxy in the universe, our Milky Way. He was wrong about that, but he correctly argued that the Sun was nowhere near the center of the Milky Way, and that certain kinds of stars were useful for measuring distances across the universe. Curtis, on the other hand, argued that many of the mysterious spiral nebulae astronomers had found in the sky were other galaxies, like the Milky Way. We know he was on the right track there, but he made some mistakes, like thinking the Milky Way was relatively small and that the Sun was near its center. The mixed results of the great debate show that big scientific questions can rarely be answered all at once by just one person. In fact, I should mention at least two other famous astronomers involved in solving this riddle: Henrietta Swan Leavitt and Edwin Hubble. Several years before the Great Debate, Leavitt had found a special relationship describing the way stars called Cepheid variables change in brightness. This has proven so valuable that we now call her discovery Leavitt's Law. A few years after Shapley and Curtis squared off, Hubble used Leavitt's Law to show that Cepheid variables in several spiral nebulae were far beyond the supposed edge of the Milky Way, meaning they must be in separate, distant galaxies. So by 1924, astronomers knew the universe held multiple galaxies, and they've been counting them ever since. We haven't pointed a telescope at every single galaxy, but we've seen enough of them to estimate the total number. And astronomers now think it's around 2 trillion, a 2 followed by 12 zeros. Scientifically speaking, that's a huge number. Now, Hubble went on to do other important work on galaxies, like designing a way to classify them based on their shape. It's called the Hubble sequence, or the Hubble tuning fork. His name was also given to the Space Telescope that has done so much to expand our view of the galaxies around us. Well, Elliot, I hope that helps answer your question, but even after 100 years, I don't think we have it exactly figured out yet. I think the one lesson we can take away from this is that everyone should keep asking big questions, and we'll be back to answer more of your questions next time on Ask an Astronomer.